This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Bullet travel trailer, and the model number is 1900 RD. Okay, so this is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. So you have regular crank type stabilizers. You have a power awning with lights. Of course, there's 120 AC there, and this is the vent for your range hood. So if you're cooking and you want to vent to the outside, just remember to keep this baffle right here flapping freely like that. You can snap it shut when you're traveling or in storage, but when you're cooking and venting, you want that open so it flaps freely. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so you have your pass-through storage. Okay, so your deep cycle marine battery box, and you have a kill switch for the battery right here. So if you want to shut the battery off, you can just turn it to the red off, and it disconnects it from the trailer. 20-pound LP tank with a regulator. This is just in case you want to purchase a solar battery charger kit. This one's made by, looks like, I can't tell, Zamp I think. But it's just a portable panel that folds up and you can charge your battery. It's just a pre-wired option. Okay, so here we are on the other side. And you have preps. This is prep for solar controller and panel, and prep for inverter also. Alright, when we come out here, you have your water connection. City water is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook the hose up there, turn it on, you're all set. If you're camping someplace without city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then you can use the onboard pump to pump the water. So I'll show you where the pump switch is at when we get inside. You also have on-demand water, hot water. So that's a good thing to have. That is your on and off master switch, just so you know that it's there. That is your safety valve. Never touch that. It's to release pressure if it builds up too much pressure inside. So keep in mind. I'll show you how this works when we get inside. This is basically the control panel is inside, and once you turn it on, anytime you turn on a hot water valve, this will kick on and give you non-stop hot water. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. This is your black tank flush. Now, after you dump your black tank, right, if you leave the hose on the dump valve, or on the outlet and the dump valve open, your black tank valve open, you can hook the hose at the dump station, the freshwater hose, and you can turn it on here, and you can flush out the black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. But the point I'm making is, like it says on the sticker, is you always want to leave the black tank valve open before you turn the water on here, because you don't want too much pressure to build up. So make sure you leave that black tank valve open before you turn on the water to the flush. Okay. Furnace vent. This is just a coax campground cable through. Your dump valves are right here, gray and black. Okay, and those are your low point drains there. Okay. Storage. You have a 30 amp, 30-foot shore cord. Okay, so it's a 30 amp system. You're pre-wired for a backup camera up there, so you can see if you want to add a backup camera, it would hook up right there. Also, we're looking up, the manufacturer states that every 90 days the roof should be inspected. So keep that in mind. You want to check to make sure none of the roofing material or attachments were damaged by, let's say, low branches. You want to make sure that there's no cracking or separation at the sealant where water can get through, things like that. Odds are years will go by before you have to do any touch-up, but you just don't know that for a fact, and you can't see what's happening up there unless you look. So every 90 days you should take a look or have somebody else take a look, okay? Be very careful. First thing we see here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it's not glowing green, get it serviced. Don't never ignore it, because it's an important safety device, obviously. It's hardwired to the battery, so it should always be glowing green. And to get it replaced, it's nothing. They're not expensive, so make sure it's always working. Your furnace analog thermostat is right here. You're all the way to the left, which is off. It'll click when you turn it on, and click when you shut it off. You always want to hear it click as you push it to the left to make sure it's off. And of course, once you click it off, the flame will go out, but it'll still cycle through, so it could take a couple minutes before it shuts off, but the flame should go out as soon as you shut it down. The furnace makes 3 attempts to light, so it always lights within those 3 attempts. So if for any reason it doesn't, let's say you didn't have the gas on or something like that, and you want to start over again, all you have to do is click it to the left so it shuts off. It can still be cycling, but you click it to the left to reset the circuit board, you turn it back on, and it'll run through those 3 attempts to light again. So you shouldn't have to do that, but in case you do, it's that simple. Alrighty, so your control panel is here. Here's your awning here. Now, the awning, you can see the awning, let me show you. The awning arm is right next to the door, so you always want to have the door perpendicular to the awning, because when it opens up, you can hit the door. It's not gonna damage it. It'll just be, it just can make noise, and it could actually scratch it, I suppose. But you always want to make sure it's not interfering with the arm, and then you'll just come over to here and you'll extend it like so. And it's that simple. Never leave it out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so it doesn't get damaged by the weather and the wind. Okay. Your levels are here. Batteries, charged, fresh water, black and gray. Your water pump is right here. We talked about using the water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use the water pump to winterize the trailer. Okay. Your range hood vent, I showed you the vent on the outside, that you want the baffle flapping freely if you're venting, right? Right here. So this is the range hood here. You have it right there. You have a light. Okay, your cooktop is just you have to light it with a grill lighter. It's just a basic 2-burner cooktop. Your keys are hanging right here. Okay. TV. I'm just reading they got the, this is the first time I've seen this brand TV, so I'm just looking at it for a second here. It's on a swing out bracket. You do have a strap to keep it from flailing around when you're driving down the road. Okay. When it comes to the dinette here, you can pull the poles off the table top, and you can set the tabletop on these cleats here. There's six of them going around the rim of it, and you can set that down there and fill in the space with some cushions, and you have an extra place to sleep. Okay. This is your power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers here, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. Okay. So that's where the DC power comes from. It also is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery, the battery on the tongue, how much energy it needs, and it'll send as many amps necessary to keep it charged. So when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the battery. When you're plugged into shore power, this power converter does it, okay? So, converts AC to DC power and charges your battery. Okay, this is an emergency escape window. I don't know if I can get this one-handed. I probably can't. Okay, well, I'm not going to try not to force it. There we go. You just, to use it, you just push it all the way through, and then you grab a hold of that knob there and pull the screen out. And you can escape in an emergency. Okay. Your air conditioner has the controls right on it. One side is the thermostat, the other side are your fan speeds and your air conditioning speeds. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. Your refrigerator is 12 volt DC refrigerator. Always have this latch like this so you don't dent the doors when you're driving. They don't fly open and get dented. Alright. GFCI here. Now, all the plugs in the trailer, even, you know, around here, you'll have a regular looking, let me find one here now. You have a regular looking duplex receptacle right there, right? They're all wired through this GFCI, so even the one on the outside. So if you lose power in one, you're always going to think GFCI. You'll come in here and look and see if it's tripped. So all the plugs are wired through this GFCI. Your toilet is got a flush pedal on it, and it's simple. It works like all RV toilets do. It sits right over a black tank, and basically when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, of course. Then you'll throw a dose of chemical right into the bowl, and then you'll step on the pedal and hold it down until you put at least a gallon of water in there along with the chemical. You can use more than a gallon of water, just don't use less. Most people use more, so keep that in mind. Every time you're starting off with a flushed black tank, you have to put chemical and at least a gallon of water in there. Otherwise, it'll get clogged up. It'll smell terrible. It'll just be a mess. So keep that in mind. Your shower and sink obviously work like any shower and sink. This is your controller here. Let me see what we have here. I don't know if he's got the gas turned on or what the situation is here. So I'm just gonna talk you through this. In order for this to operate, you have to have one of these two things. You have to have the city water hooked up with it turned on. It has to be able to sense that water, or you need water in your fresh water tank with the pump turned on. If you don't have those, it will not light the gas burner. It's a safety thing, obviously, so keep that in mind. You can change this from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so it's set to 124. I'll put it down to 120, which is pretty typical, right? And then, of course, on and off is there. So I don't know if he has, it doesn't look like he's got water in the tank ready to go, I don't think. Yeah, so we'll walk you through it when you get here, but basically you turn on the hot water faucet anywhere, and you'll see the picture of a flame light, and then you'll see the number start to go up rapidly towards 120. You can change it, you can lower it to 115, whatever, using the up and down obviously, but 120 is pretty typical setting, so it's up to you obviously. So, okay, when you get here we'll look at that, we'll make sure, because then it'll be in position and ready to go and all set up. So, okay, let me see what else we have here. I think that about covers it. So let me look around. This is your smoke detector, obviously. I don't know why this has it open, but I'll have them close it up. We have some storage under here, as you can see. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please keep in mind what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's important to keep after your roof. Like, your odds of you having to do anything to it for years is pretty rare, but it's not unheard of because things can happen. So make sure you inspect it so you can be ahead of any problems that you have and protect your investment. And right now this is in camping mode, so all the antifreeze has been purged from the system, and it's all set for this summertime. So keep that in mind. When you get here, we'll go over any issues you have, and you can ask any questions you want, and we'll make sure you're comfortable and happy by the time you leave. Okay? Thank you.